She fell, she fought, and in the end, she emerged victorious. This is the woman of today, and she is made of steel. Come and watch how she slays.
Today on She Slays is a very, very special person, someone I've interacted with over the years, someone who's changed so many roles and still continues to play multiple roles at the same time. I think that's just her. Okay, she loves to be dabbling in a few things at the same time, and she does a great job at all of them. I'm talking about chef slash actor slash TV anchor slash mum slash daughter-in-law slash daughter. Oh my God, there are so many roles, right? Maria Goretti on the show with me today. Hello, so good to see you.
Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you so much. Good to see you too.
Maria, tell me, back in the day, I remember watching you and thoroughly enjoying you on the screen. This was back in the MTV days I'm talking about. You were an anchor. Started off as a dancer, choreographer, and then moving on to become an anchor.
Not a choreographer. I was never a choreographer.
Okay.
I danced.
And then being on TV, that was golden era, I believe. I mean, that was where you also met friends who stayed with you for the rest of your life. And today, here you are. You are a patissier. You are also dabbling in interiors now, designing for your friend. We'll get to that. There's so many other things you're doing. Acting, I believe. Oh my God, that too we have to talk about. I mean, that's so much. But tell me about this journey you've gone through, yeah? How has that been?
Actually, Annie, it's very interesting. When I started, okay, after I finished college, I really never had a part. Okay. So I did not know where I'm going, but whatever came to me, I just gave 300% to it.
Sure.
That was what I kind of did. And I think somewhere along the line, that just kind of led me to where I am. So I was very, like my mom kept, so I started by, I actually started modeling. And then I decided that, okay, I definitely know I don't want to work in an office. And my mom used to tell me, why are you taking a job? Why just dancing? What is this? And what is this modeling? And so all the time while I was dancing and modeling, I was trying to find myself this serious job.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do. I kept trying. And I actually worked maybe in 2 offices. And both of them I didn't last very long because I used to be really wondering, what am I doing? So that used to be going on in my head while I would be very studiously sitting there in a salwar kameez trying to do this job. And then I remember then I joined Sapphires, and I decided because I loved doing clothes. Okay, in acting I learned from my mom. My mom taught me how to cut and sew, and so I used to make my own clothes as
nice.
So I decided, okay, I'm going to do fashion designing because I love styling, I love design, I love all this. So I did 1 year of fashion design, and after 1 year of fashion design, I remember the first year of the second year of fashion, the first month of the second year of fashion design, I had a show to do, and I didn't want to lie. So I told my teacher that, listen, please give me, I need 12 days. I said, I need 12 days to go and I need to finish this. And she looked at me and she said, you anyway bunked. And so you please give me your garment. So I went and I bought my fabric. I was a Sapphire, so you go down Beach Candy, you buy your fabric.
Sure.
I rendered it and glue, I did everything and I gave it. And thank you, Vijay. Yeah. Okay. So I bought everything and I gave it. And then I told her, she said, okay, come to my office. And I went to her office. She told me, she said, okay. She said, Maria, you go for your show, but don't come back. I'm like, what? So she said, yeah. She said, why do you want to do this course? I said, because I want to be a fashion designer. And she said, and what have you learned?
Mm.
So I told her technically what I had learned. So she looked at me and she said, okay, Maria, I just want to tell you, we have done this garment for the past 1 month, you know, and her name was, Jyoti ma'am. Jyoti
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
And she said, we've done this garment for the past 1 month. She said, you come today, you have like finished the whole thing, given it to me on time. She said, I don't see any reason why you should be here. You need to go and you need to be doing this on the field because you can do this. I remember I have sat at her feet and I have cried. I said, this is going to be my job. You can't throw me out of school. She said, I'm not taking your fees at all. And she said, I don't want you to come back to college. Now I have to go back and tell my mom that I'm leaving for London in the night. And I can't go back to design school because mom has told me don't come back. So I've gone back home and I've told my mom that, you know, I'm going off tonight to do this show. I was doing a show for Z. And it was a show on music. This was before I joined MTV. And I told her, I said, and I can't go back to college. She was living with me, okay? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know what to do. So I finished my graduation and done all the right things. I ticked all those.
You checked all the boxes, yeah.
My mom and dad said me to do. So I'd done all that like a good person. And I went off to London. I came back and I just had no college to go back to. So I continued working and I kept getting more and more shows on television.
Wow.
And so I started taking it and I started doing it and I just got into it. And then I somewhere landed up at MTV and I will never forget it. I was once doing a big event at St. Andrews and somebody came backstage to me and told me, they said, Maria, there's somebody who's come to meet you. So I said, who? So that's my son Zeke, who has just jumped in. And she said, so I went there, I went back. She said, like, you said, you know, there's something like, I said, who? I don't know who. They were like, please come. And standing down the stairs there was Jyoti man, who looked at me and said, say thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I looked at her and I was like, oh my God. I said, you know, and she looked at me and she said, you know, Maria, I always knew that you were meant for different things and you were just there because in your head you felt you needed to do this or you needed to, God knows what was going on in
You need to find a job for yourself. You know, there are so many things that you're interested and all of that. Yeah.
So I thought this was the right way. And she looked at me and said, she said, I hugged her so tight and I said thank you to her so many times. And it felt so good and she said, I feel so proud when I see you and I'm like, you know, it felt so good, I can't tell you. It just felt damn bloody good. Then I was with MTV for 5.5 years. I worked with them. And then I came a time where I felt I kind of grew up and I couldn't do you're having a great time. I just couldn't do it. So I used to do it. But somehow I was not interested whether anyone was having a good time because I wanted to go home. You know, I spent so much of time out of the house that at that time, I think after 5.5 years, we used to travel a lot. We used to work actually working maybe 5-6 days a week. So it was great. It was the most beautiful time of my life. But you know, after some time, even the most beautiful things sometimes lose their luster.
Yeah.
And I felt that now enough. You know, I just felt enough. And it was the most beautiful time. And I remember I left and then I was wondering, why did I leave this after 6 months? You know, I was like, wow, how stupid. I mean, people would jump to be in my shoes and I'm not here. But it's funny how it works out because then I did cricket with Sony, the first time they did cricket with women. And I did cricket with Sony. I went to Sri Lanka and I covered the ICC Champions Trophy there. Then they hired me back again in 2003 to go to South Africa. So I did 2.5 months of travel and cricket with Sony there, and I was satiated. I was like, you know what? It could not, like, I was prepared to then have kids. I was like, no, I want to have kids.
Oh,
I just wanted to have kids. Yeah, I was satiated. I was like, okay, that's it. I am not interested in putting makeup on my face. And I was really, I mean, I loved the work that I did. I was satiated with the work that I did. I was happy with all that I received in return from the hard work that I put in.
sure.
And I was pretty happy. And then after I had kids, actually, I did not work very, very long. And I got into cooking also, just because I needed to actually feed my son. And I kind of started with how to make, like, I used to call my mom and say, how to make French toast. Like, oh, how long you cook it? How do I know? That how do I kitchen? I was like really bad. And then very slowly, I realized that I really enjoy this. And then my daughter was born in 2007. He was born in 2004. In 2011, I went off to Tantimani and I did my chef course there in bakery, boulangerie, and cuisine. And I started cooking, but I was very my cooking skills, I would say, were very too fresh. So there was a lot of hard work that went into it over the years. And then in 2018, I also studied at Sapphires. I went back after doing design.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I went back and then I learned baking with Shashi ma'am. It was an after school course.
Okay.
So I went back and I did like a 1-year course with them in baking. So we did bread, tea cakes, different pastries, that kind of stuff. And then I went to Tantimani. Then in 2018, I went off to Cordon Bleu. I went to Paris for my basic. I went to London for my intermediate.
Yeah.
And then I went back to Paris for my superior. Then I finished that. And I came back and then I did a whole course in Bombay from SEC, which is, eggless. Because I couldn't understand eggless. I was like, how? Like, what? I was like,
First of all, why does it exist? And second of all, how do you even end up doing it?
yeah, so I was like, okay, I need to understand how the hell does this work. So I was still in that study mode. So I went and I did this. And then after that, I took the biggest break and didn't cook at all for really long. And yeah, then in the middle of that, I did menus. I set up when the Bandra project just started. I was the chef who did the first menu for the Bandra project. That was in Bandra. Then I did another menu for another a forest lodge. So I love doing that. I realized that I love setting menus. I love teaching. I enjoy that, And that just went on. And then of course the lockdown happened. And we all sat at home.
Yeah. Now that lockdown bit of it was really hard on everyone. And I know we did something during the lockdown, beginning of the lockdown, the first phase, where I took a few recipes from you. We did these Zoom interviews, where the world wanted to know that, everything is going to go back to normal within the first 2-3 months. Nobody had a clue this is going to last for a year and a half. And still continues, the effects. So I think the first few months were okay. We were enjoying the holidays. But 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, and that's when I think it started eating into people. How times have changed. How the pandemic has actually made us realize that there are so many things you may have to leave behind to keep moving forward. Now that's difficult. But you know what, Maria, you worked it out. Like the moment you said that when I was on stage or I was on TV, I felt satiated. Okay, now that is not a feeling everybody has. Most of us, including me maybe, we're very insecure and we're like, oh my God, if I let go of this, what am I going to do next? Am I going to be relevant? how will I validate what I'm going to do? What else am I actually going to do? But you went with the flow. Where do you get that from? What gene pool is that? Mom or dad or both? Or just you?
I don't know. I'm like if you ask me, like, what's your plan? I have no plan. I never have a plan. Okay, so if something does come my way or something is flowing through me, then I'll go with it.
Correct.
And I'll just give it my best. That's my only plan. My plan is if I'm going to do anything, okay, then I will put my 300%.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that has always been my one and only plan. So I must tell you, I think hopefully, fingers crossed, I also wrote a poetry book.
Oh! In fact, following you on Insta does tell me that you are an amazing writer, by the way. So it doesn't come as a surprise that you have already written some poetry. Wow.
So in fact, today I'm sitting on the final draft is coming to me. There were many final drafts. Okay, many. Then you hate your words. Like I hated some of them. They're like, what's this rubbish? Throw it out. So now today, in fact, even after I finish this with you, I'm going to sit and finish it. So I've written a poetry book that should probably be out maybe by the end of this year.
Wow.
Or somewhere in the beginning of next year.
So cool, so cool. So I guess there's a very good point you've mentioned here is that whatever you picked, you just picked it and put your heart and soul into it. And so at the end of it, you just feel so fulfilled from that experience that you want to move on to the next.
I don't know whether I want to move on or not, but somehow what happens is when you've given it your all, you really are left with no more to give. You have to sit back and say, okay, now let this do what it has to do.
Right.
And sometimes it goes in a great direction, sometimes it doesn't. You just deal with it.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
So cool. I think that is also a piece of advice you're giving everyone in those words right there. Now tell me about acting. So poetry book is happening. There is acting. Come on now. I thought following you on Insta, I thought, okay, she's talking about a show. I believe this is some food show she's talking about, a televised food show, which she's hosting probably. I mean, isn't that what the show is about? And you tell me you're bloody acting? Tell us more.
It's too funny. So for all the years of my life, okay, I did one film with Rajat. Okay, it was called Raghu Romeo.
Yeah.
I just struggled with the Hindi line. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never doing this. So all throughout, while I was also with MTV and blah, blah, I would always get calls to do some bit of acting.
Sure.
But I always would say no. I would say it's an Hindi. Just leave it be. But somehow this year, in March, I got a very lovely offer from Sonam Nair. She's a very cool director. And she called me and she said, Maria, I have this role. And she read the role out to me. It was sad. Okay. And she said, so I want to know if you do it. And I was like, yeah, she's so interesting. Of course I'm going to do it. It's a mad. So I said yes to that. Then I had Sahil Sangha of Madiba Productions. He called me up and said, yeah, I want you to do a special appearance in a show that I'm doing. So we went up and down about it. And I agreed with him. I said, Sahil, don't get angry with me if I get stuck with Hindi. My grammar is wrong. He was like, you just be. So I just finished that. And then Endemol Shine and the director Guru Bhalla called me and they had a very serious role. It was really serious and it was a beautiful I would say she had so many beautiful layers. It was a serious role, and I was like, I read it and she was really interesting, the character. And he said, so what do you think? I said, she's really beautiful and I would love to do it, but I am very scared. She said, what are you scared of? I said, I'm scared that I can't deliver. I'm not an actor. From any angle. You know, this is what I do. I'm like, you put me front and you make me host show and I can do it in the middle of the night. But you give me dialogues and say, you know, do something and I'm like, I become like that.
Emote.
Yeah. He said, no. He said, do you like the character? I said, I love the character. He said, okay, then just go with the process. I said, okay. So I signed up these 3. I finished 2. The last one I'm going to finish. I have just 2 more days of work and I'm done.
Oh,
And
wow.
I've had a wonderful time. Yeah, and and they're small. They're not some big, lengthy, you know, part-breaking things. They're nothing like that. They're very, like, you can watch it, I'll come in, I'll go out, and that's fine. You know? But to me, it has been, like, it's like, for me, I have walked up a mountain.
Nice.
Because this is something that I have till today, till this year, March, I've always said no. So for me to have said yes and to walk onto that set with this, like I still have one of my scripts with me here. And I have to show it.
Ooh,
Like,
that doesn't look like a small role.
oh, this is everybody else also. Everyone else. So I now make shits like this, sing, learn.
But so cool, you've got varied experiences, and I think through the lockdown for this to happen, you're blessed to have,
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed, Annie, and I thank God every night. I really, really do. I really thank God, and I'm like, you know what? Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, everything may not be perfect, but thank you.
Yeah, gratitude is a must, and I think counting all these blessings really means a lot for us, and it just kind of clears out our head, and we are humbled. We then know that we are grounded at the same time, and which is so important.
Yeah,
Really,
you can't take, and also, I mean, you can't take all that you do seriously.
Yeah.
You know, everyone works.
Yeah.
Everybody in life works. Just because your work is on a camera doesn't make you special. And it doesn't. I have always thought about it like it's a job. And the reason, you know, I'm on camera is because I do this, but there is somebody behind the camera. There's somebody doing my hair. There's somebody doing my makeup. There's somebody writing my script. Okay, there's somebody putting the storyline together. There's somebody putting the clothes on me.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of, there is a village.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't
together.
Yeah. You can't see the village. You can just see this. So what would I be without the village?
Correct.
You know. So I have always throughout my life just been thankful about it and enjoyed it. I really love it. I love it. Okay. I love camera. And I've realized that. Through this lockdown, I kept also searching for what to do. Like people tell me, Maria, you're a chef, you're gonna cook the blow, and why don't you open a place, and why don't you open a place? I realized I can't do business. If someone tells me, Maria, would you do this with me? I'd say yes. And say, how much do we owe him? Like, what are you saying? Take it. I can't do business. So it's like, don't do it. It's like hire me to make menus, hire me to teach your staff. If I can go to various kitchens and do workshops out of there, I would do that. But if you tell me, Maria, open a patisserie right now, maybe it's like how I've said no to acting for so many years. Finding out I'm doing, I'm suddenly in the middle of it. So it may be like that in the future. Who knows?
Sure,
but it's like right now, enjoying it.
So she's acting now. I don't know if there's an embargo and you can actually share when these series are going to be ready and when we can see it. Nothing.
I can't talk about it.
Damn. Okay.
But when I can, you will know everything.
Absolutely. Okay, just a quick reflection on what happened through the pandemic. Trying to just keep everybody together, everything together. You have children who look up to you. You have a partner. You have both of you have each other for each other. You have parents. You have a support system. But yet again, you have to shoulder the responsibility to ensure that everything is going by fine. There is sanity that we can keep within ourselves. So what are some of those moments where you felt maybe that you're losing it and you didn't know how to handle it, and how did you navigate through all of that?
I was a mess. I was a mess. That's the truth. I was a mess. I actually used my cooking
Mm-hmm.
and to help me out of the dark places that I was in.
Right.
And I cooked throughout the pandemic,
Mm.
and it's so funny, but like so I would make whatever, because I was cooking every day, so I should just put the camera there because that's the most natural thing for me to do, to talk to the camera.
Yeah.
So I would put it there, I would cook, I would make my meal, but no, my insides were a mess. It was very, very difficult.
Mm.
And I struggled with myself, my own demons, my own everything during the pandemic. I struggled to keep the kids, not on their iPhones and their laptops all the time. I really did, and at which point of time I thought that I at this point of time need help,
Mm.
and I did a whole session of counseling for myself.
Nice.
And I thought that was very important. I'd never done that before. So I was very uncomfortable with spilling my guts to somebody that I don't know.
Sure.
But I did it. It took me time, but I did it. And I realized that if you are able to ask for help when your insides are not feeling fine, I think it's the best thing you can do for yourself.
Yes.
And sometimes all of us have this image of, oh my God, you're happy and bubbly and your insides are like black.
Yeah.
So I went through that throughout the pandemic, and I think I can say that now it's, I made you kind of answer your questions,
Right.
and you kind of peace with a lot of things, and you are struggling with, and you have to let go of a lot of things. Like I look at my kids and I'm like, these ones used to hold my hand and say, Mama, 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 and now they are not. I keep going and say, hey, guys, hey.
I'm here, I'm around.
Go away, Mama. I'm like, hi. So, it's on so many levels.
Right.
I would say that it had its good moments, and it had really dark moments. And I think like anyone else out there, we all navigated through, and so did I.
Right.
But I am glad that I did some personal counseling at that point of time, because sometimes you're not able to come up with the right answers, and you can be really harsh on yourself. All of us do that. We're really harsh on ourselves. We're really not very nice to ourselves, And I think that is something, and even just now, in fact, I just finished a course with St. Xavier's. I did a certificate course in personal counseling from St. Xavier's Institute.
Oh, nice.
It's an online thing which I did with them, and it was so beautiful. And because it's not about this was not about how you can. It was like a precursor to if you want to be a counselor, And I realized that I really do love it. I don't know where I'm going with it because I've just yesterday. So it's really, but it's I have the book somewhere. It's just beautiful, and the whole thing, and it made all of us. We are 24 in the class, and all of us, it made all of us introspect. It made all of us. So I know that in these past 3 months also, that there is a lot of information that is sitting inside me that is not only going to help me, but is also going to help me with the people around me.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
So I think in this pandemic, one of the things that I've done besides all the things that you see is I have done a lot of internal repair.
Right.
We're always still, work in progress. We're still art waiting to happen, stuff like that.
That's a beautiful way of putting it.
Yeah, we are. We're all beautiful creations waiting. We're all that Mona Lisa, but in progress. And I'm happy that I'm actually happy that I was in a place where I actually had to look after myself.
Mm.
I've never done that before in my life. I've never
Wow.
ever helped. I've never ever seen a counselor. I've never done this. I just
Wow.
try to deal with it on my own or try to cover it, or we all have various mechanisms.
Right.
But this time I think it was too overwhelming for me too. And when I look back today, and I always say, I say thank you, because today I have a little more of me,
Right.
that I know, and I'm happy with it. It's not perfect, but it's me,
Yeah.
and I'm okay.
I think that is the most important aspect of any conversation you have, especially a non-judgmental conversation. Because the reason one takes counseling is to, yes, meeting a stranger and sharing everything out, and then wondering what the person is going to think about you. Because these are those dark
No,
little
I never
secrets.
did that. I never thought of that. I
That
never
is good for you.
going to think of me. So that is something like, it's like a childhood thing in me. That doesn't matter to me.
Oh, nice.
It's like when I walk into a place, I never ever think, what is that person going to think of me? I never think of that. That doesn't occur to me. But I was like, am I going to be telling them what I sometimes don't even want to acknowledge myself? That was the crazy bit.
Yeah. So I think acknowledging and accepting that you are going through this and that you have
Yeah.
to,
And it's okay.
yeah.
It's fine. And it's all right. And you must ask for help. I ask for help all the time from various people for various things. Because I never ask for my insights.
Right.
So this is the first time I actually addressed my insights, and I was really happy that I did.
Yeah.
And it's something that I would recommend for each and every person. If you can't
Absolutely.
find
Yes.
there are beautiful therapists, counselors in so many different mediums.
Yes.
Please seek help for us.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
really beautiful gift.
I think it's no longer, in fact, it will be silly of us to consider it a taboo anymore or a stigma of any kind that we're taking help. And that's something I think if we keep having this conversation and dialogue with people around, and it doesn't have to be only people, who come from the background that we have, but everyone around us who are also helping us, our staff and everybody, you need to talk to them, and they feel so good when you give those little personal counseling tips to them and to tell them that it's okay to go through what you're going through, because it's pretty much part and parcel of life.
No, it is. Absolutely.
So cool. It is Maria Goretti who's been slaying it. Of course, don't go anywhere. One last quick fire round. Getting to know a little bit more of some of the things she likes to do. I mean, I always wonder how you pack in 25 and 24, but you have managed to do an amazing, brilliant job. So a little more on that, things that you do to entertain yourself and so on and so forth. So stay tuned. She says with Maria Goretti on Afternoons with Annie. It's Maria Goretti today with me, and she plays a lot of roles. So it probably won't do justice. It probably won't do justice if I just give her one title, because there are so many prefixes and so many titles she actually carries, and she does them with so much.
Maybe I'm just schizophrenic and you don't know.
Beauty and grace. Oh, okay. Now here are your questions. Whether or not you're ready for the quick fire round, you're getting them. They are coming.
Okay. Okay, fine. Hands on the table.
Okay. Okay, your very, very first question. It's very basic and very simple. Tell me the name of a movie you watched very recently on OTT platform, on a digital platform.
Name of a movie. I didn't watch a movie. I watched a series. Is that
okay?
That's okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I watched The Maid.
Oh, you did? How did you like it?
I really liked it.
You did?
I really loved it.
I've been pushing it, wondering maybe I might not like it. I'm not even willing to kind of experiment yet.
In fact, I'm the last person to watch series because I don't like them. But I really loved it.
So cool. Okay, two of your favorite international pop stars of today.
See, now I listen to the music that my kids listen to because
Yeah.
they listen to far cooler music than me. Okay, so who is my daughter listening to at the moment? Oh my God, I don't know, but today we played something by the weekend.
Yeah. It could be.
Yeah. You said international, right?
Yes. Yes. Very much.
So,
So one is the weekend, and the other you could pick any you like to listen to also.
The
Come
other
on.
is actually I like Ed Sheeran.
Oh, you do,
That's why
yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
I think he's
that's
a
why
fabulous songwriter, singer-songwriter, both. Okay, moving on. What's your favorite book? One that you're reading right now, or maybe one that you've always felt very close to?
Uh, so I actually love the God of Small Things.
Oh, you did. Nice. God of Small Thing it is.
Yeah, I love the God of Small. I really love that book, and I've read it. I also love The Palace of Illusions. I really love that book. There are a few books. So there are a few books here, in fact, in my library that I keep reading, a lot. And I have a book called Selected Poems by Pablo Neruda, given to me by my author friend Mishra, and it's basically in Spanish with English on the side. So because at one point of time I was learning Spanish, and I really love how your tongue rolls when you speak Spanish. He gave me this book. So sometimes I just read it, but I have no clue what I'm saying. Then I read it.
So sweet. Okay. Top 2 travel destinations on your bucket list. Maybe there's a new bucket list now.
I want to go to Machu Picchu. I've been wanting to go to Machu Picchu now for I don't know how many years, and I'm
gorgeous.
So I want to go to Machu Picchu. Another place, I want to just go in, I'm a very forest mountain type person. Okay, so anywhere in India that is off the grid is my favorite place.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Northeast is calling you, Maria. The Northeast definitely.
Some places definitely calling you. And the other I really, really love, okay, is the Andamans. Okay, Radhanagar Beach is my favorite spot in the world to just sit and watch sunsets.
Wow.
I have never, ever seen a sunset like the one at Radhanagar Beach. I have never seen it, and I've really, if I may say so, traveled quite extensively. But sunsets on Radhanagar Beach, in my heart.
They're etched in your heart.
Yes. Like, I can close my eyes, walk through those trees, and just boom.
Picture them. Wow, so cool. Maybe soon you're going to build a holiday home on Radhanagar Beach.
We're not allowed to. Okay, I should not be politically right or wrong or whatever. I'm going to zip shut and keep
Okay, moving on. Who was your celebrity crush? Childhood celebrity crush?
When I was small. So I think...
Come on, you're teenagers. They must have easily lasted into your...
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to say it was Shah Rukh Khan. I swear, it's like I remember watching him in DDLJ, and I remember the scene. Okay, I remember the scene. It's like he drops Kajol to the door, and then he walks away, and then he turns around and he says bye or hi.
That man and his charm.
No. Okay, fine. Now I'm fully confused. Now I'm being like this, but no, I have to say Saif Ali Khan.
Okay, we'll keep both Shah Rukh and Saif. Don't worry.
Yeah, we keep both of them.
Yeah, we keep both of them. Okay, now if you were to be a comic superhero for one day, who would it be and why?
I don't I'll be Catwoman.
Oh, okay, that's out of the blue, but nice. Catwoman. Which dessert makes you go weak in your knees?
Curry breast.
Yeah?
Yeah. So pie breast is something that I tasted when I went to Bangalore. So Nikhil, Chinappa, and me, we worked together in Italy, and we used to travel a lot together. Okay, so I remember one of the shows we did was in Bangalore, and I checked into the hotel. He went home and he said, "Maria, I'm coming to pick you up in the evening." So he came, and he said, "I'm taking you to a place, and you're going to love it there." So I went, and he took me to this place called Sunny's on off MG Road in Bangalore. And he went there and he knew the owner and he said, "You have to give her the bread with the herb butter." I never had something like that before. So this hot bread came to me with this herb butter, and I was like heaven in a bite. Okay, and he was like, "You just wait, you just wait." And then he said, "Give her the dessert." And for the first time in my life, I tasted curry breast. Okay, and it is basically choux pastry. Hazelnut cream and almond flakes.
Ooh.
And I took a bite of it and I was like, what is this? I'd never tasted choux pastry before, or at least that way, and I'd never tasted something like this. After that, if I went to Bangalore, I used to head there straight. I was like, no, I'm not going left, right. I was like, taking the Sunny, taking the Sunny, taking the Sunny, taking the Sunny. I used to just be wanting to go to Sunny's. So when I first learned to bake, one of the first things I did, in fact, was make a pie breast.
Ooh.
And still today, it is my top favorite dessert to eat. And so today, today I really make it well because I judge it. Okay, everyone else, I'm like, today it's not as good. Damn it, Maria, you didn't do a good job. So that's pie breast.
Okay, now knowing what you know today, what advice would you give your 16-year-old self?
Tell her that the divine has her back. Just go forward and shine.
How sweet is that? How thoughtful. Okay, where's your happy place?
Oh my God, that's a very difficult one. My happy place is when my insides are peaceful. Then I could be anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
When my insides are peaceful, that's my happy place.
Okay. What job are you terrible at?
Faking it. It's like I do it, I have to, but I squirm and I'm like, you point out.
Yeah, they can see it on your face.
I feel like, I get a little off.
Yeah. Okay. What are you most afraid of?
Losing the ones that I love.
Yeah. If you were given a chance to explore the oceans, go to the moon, and visit 50 countries, which one would you choose and why?
50 countries! 50 countries! 50 countries! 50 countries! That's what I do.
And I know, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Made for it. This is the last question. If past lives are real, what were you in the past life?
I was an animal in a jungle.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I think I could have been a cheetah because I'm very quick with everything and make lots of mistakes. I'm like in a rush for everything. It's like if we talk about me, I'm like, go buy the tickets. I'm that person. So I definitely must have been an animal in a jungle, in a wild jungle.
So cool.
Most peaceful and happiness, and I feel happiest and I feel at home, and I definitely must have been a cheetah.
So cool. A cat it is then. A cat it is. Maria.
See that one. I told you.
Maria, thank you so much for being as honest as you've always been every time you spoke. Thank you for being you, which is very important, and which is what always reflects in the conversations we have, and which is what I think any of your fans and listeners that listen to you, watch you, follow you, always take from you, your honesty, the beauty that you bring along with it, and everything that you're willing to share and give. That's just incredible. Thank you once again, and keep slaying it like you have been.
I'll try.
Maria Goretti on She Says and Afternoons with Annie. Back to music.
One world, your station.